In this video, we will explore the classroom settings and how you can make your class customizable to your preferences. In the admin interface, go to Classes on the left side of your screen. Select the class and then proceed to Settings. Settings is the last tab to the right across the top. There are several functions in the settings page that can be adjusted or changed to fit your preference. All of the functions are very straightforward and easy to use. You can also click the Restore Defaults button to bring the settings back to default if you want to undo the changes you make. Let's first look at the General Settings section. Again, it's pretty straightforward and very easy to understand. And there is also available information right beside the function indicated by a question mark to explain what each setting does. Now to the first one, Disable Skipping Ahead. Toggling this setting on does not allow students to skip or jump in between exercises. This is often recommended. Next, Disable Play section. This section is available in the actual app or student's interface. Once enabled or toggled on, the students will no longer be able to see the play section. Furthermore, disable text creation. This function disables the ability of the students to create a custom text. Create text is accessible in the play section. Current exercise link, create exercise. Create exercise would allow the student user to paste text, use a URL or document, but if disable text creation setting is enabled or toggled on, create exercise will be unavailable. Fourth, we have disable password change. Function serves just as it is stated. Once enabled or toggled on, users won't be able to change their passwords. This is also recommended to be turned on. In public profile, the admin can set this to on, off, or student selected. This function allows the admins to set whether they'd like their students to be able to access their public profile page or not. Hall of Fame. Depending on the option the admin chooses, this function will limit the data displayed in the Hall of Fame section. It can be set to global, which means universal users of the Typesy program, class, or off. The next one, allow profile picture setting. Admins now have the control whether they'd like their students to be able to use a profile picture, an avatar, both, or none. For the last setting in the General tab, class-wide goals, it simply allows the admin to apply a goal for the entire class instead of having each user have an individually assigned goal that would be based on their initial test. Now let's look below the General tab at the Font tab. This setting simply allows the administrator to force one font style and size for the entire class. Otherwise, students will have access to several font styles and sizes. This can be enabled or disabled by toggling on or off. And our last tab is the Typing tab. In the minimum speed and accuracy part, this means that the students have to achieve the set input in this setting to be able to proceed to their next exercise. For example, if you set it to 55 words per minute for speed and 90% accuracy, but the students are unable to achieve such a minimum, then they won't be able to proceed to the next activity and they'll be prompted by the system to redo the exercise. Most schools just set it lower in the first few weeks of the training, say for example 30 words per minute and 90% accuracy. That's something that is achievable for most. To recap, the minimum speed and accuracy setting limits the students from proceeding to the next exercise unless the set minimum is achieved. It's different from the class-wide goal setting in that the goal setting simply allows teacher to be able to set the goal for the entire class and does not limit anything the students would be doing going on to the next lesson. The three other functions that are also found under the typing tab include display keyboard, allow backspace, and activity sound. Teachers can set these settings to on or off to allow the student to set their own preference. Once again, should you wish to bring the settings back to their original format, simply click the Restore Defaults button in the top right corner. Hopefully you now feel more comfortable using the settings feature to customize your class.